Welcome to Strictly Salina, a program of SMC TV, formerly known as Community Access Television, our wonderful community television station in Salina, Kansas. Strictly Salina is a program which highlights many nonprofit organizations, some businesses, that will help educate all of us who live here, entertain us, and make us fully aware of the opportunities that we have in Salina. One of our very favorite guests is the zoo, and one of our very favorite people at the zoo is Tracy Allen. I want to introduce you again, Tracy. Tracy is the marketing and events coordinator, and I think you mentioned to us that as busy as the schedule is, the weather is turning colder, and it's time to move inside, and that has to do with the conference center.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So I don't know how many of your guests realize that we have this beautiful conference center facility located in the Wildlife Museum at the zoo. And we do everything from birthdays to weddings to little kid birthdays. I'm doing a 90th birthday party for a gentleman next month. Corporate parties, team building meetings, all-day meetings, up to 200 people, with linens and china and glassware and full service planning. We have between Cassie and I. Cassie is our conference center manager.
I see.
She does a great job, and between us we have years and years and years, over 50 years of experience in planning memorable, wonderful events for your guests.
And I do want people to understand that that length of time that the two of you have spent in conference planning is absolutely essential in having a good experience with any entity.
Yeah.
And so you can see what a wonderful resource the zoo truly is.
Well, we have a great time doing it, and we hope to provide custom events for every guest that comes out to make it specific to you and what you like and what your guests would enjoy. Everything from live animal encounters to scavenger hunts and all kinds of fun foods. Served in a variety of different ways, from straight buffets to served meals, station buffets, all kinds of fun things.
And if I were going to have a family reunion, and I wanted you to help me find a theme for that family reunion.
Ooh, one of my favorite things.
So how, and let's say in my family it would be rather small. There would probably wouldn't be more than 30 of us all together.
Sure.
We have a small family.
Oh, wow.
But I want you to help me envision a theme that would bring all of those disparate parts of our family from across the Atlantic Ocean, actually, to come into Salina and reunite with one another.
Sure.
How could the zoo emphasize that?
Well, first of all, anytime you plan an event, you have to have a conversation about what it is, what your interests are,
right,
what you like, what's fun, what is fun to you. And live animal encounters are always fun for every age group, and
Absolutely.
You can do those as a group. We do a lot of live animal encounters for groups privately in the conference center, and right down to what type of food you like. Do you want something formal? Do you want something casual?
Right.
We do everything from great Mexican buffets, which, by the way, I'll give ourselves a little bit of plug.
Good.
With, Jerry Gutierrez works at Rolling Hills Zoo,
Yeah,
and
I
if
did
anybody
not know
in Salina
that.
knows Jerry Gutierrez, he owned Gutierrez
Right.
For years and years and years. And so we are like super excited to have Jerry Gutierrez with us. But we do more than just Mexican food.
That sounds like a good venue, though.
Oh, yeah. So, what kind of food do you want? What time of day do you want to be? What kind of event do you want to have? Is it more formal? Is it more casual? There's a lot of variables that go into planning, and Cassie and I, that's kind of our passion, to find what those are, to give your guests the most memorable experience we can possibly have for them. live animal encounters are a big deal.
And that would be, that would be good for reuniting a family.
Yeah.
It really would. Okay.
One thing we've done recently, Cassie and I, some of our favorite things to do are custom. So we have, a standard menu. You can have roast beef and chicken and Mexican and all that kind of thing. But we do a lot of custom menus as well, and a lot of fun things with that. One thing we did was a s'mores shooters bar.
Oh, tell me about that.
So, oh my gosh, so much fun. So this is adults. Well, you could do kids. You have to do like cocoa or something. But we had like a Bailey's and Kahlua in a little shooter glass that was rimmed with graham cracker crumbs. And then we had these little flames that you took in a box, so live, hot flame. You put a marshmallow on a flame, on a stick, put it on the flame, dip it in your shooter, bite the marshmallow, shoot your drink, and s'mores shooters for grown-ups.
That's very creative.
It was a lot of fun. I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun. And we've done, omelet bars, where they come through, you make your own omelets, and carving stations, and different kinds of, what is it called, buffet stations, where not just one buffet. So different, like maybe an American station, a Chinese station, yeah. So it's just limitless, the possibilities. But the venue itself is so unique and so beautiful. And it's very private, and you get the Wildlife Museum. And then you can always, if the weather is nice, you can always upgrade your guests and let them go out to the zoo as well. Or maybe you just want to throw on a tram ride if you have like an all-day meeting, for instance, and those folks need a moment of air. You put them on the tram and take them through the zoo on the tram. There's just so many things that you can do to add.
And if I were at one of the local colleges and we were working on sustainability and resilience and environmental health.
Sure.
The zoo's mission is part of that.
Absolutely.
With the animals that are there.
Yeah.
What kind of program, if I brought in a group of 30 students who were in their late teens and early 20s,
Sure.
what would you want to design for us to do something like that?
So the great thing is we have different departments at the zoo that focus on different things. Our education department would be a great resource for that, to come in and they can put you to work like in cleaning up a area of the zoo or something to that effect.
Yes,
and that goes along with our horticulture department as well. I know that they've had teams of people come in, especially like people that are trying to get volunteer hours.
Yes.
Groups trying to get volunteer hours, for instance, might come out and help do a project out in the zoo, and then come to the conference center and have lunch. Or dinner, or whatever the case may be. In
the museum, and I remember the history of that first. Yeah. Some of that was purchased from.
A big part of it was purchased
just from California, I think.
38 semis, so they tell me. Yeah.
Will there be any other? There's no room, I wouldn't think. But is there any other enhancement in the museum itself that is planned?
Not in the museum itself, although. We do have our Earl Bain Gallery, and that usually has 2 shows a year. Right now, it's Art Gone Wild is going on back there.
Okay.
So when you rent the conference center, your guests get complimentary admission to the Wildlife Museum, which includes the Earl Bain Gallery.
Right.
So right now, Art Gone Wild is back in the Earl Bain Gallery. Next year, in the spring, we'll have another one. It's kind of a surprise, so I almost said it, and I thought, I better keep that to myself. So I will tell you that we are celebrating our 20th anniversary of the zoo next year.
Oh my, doesn't seem possible.
I know it.
Oh.
So,
gracious.
We'll be doing all kinds of fun things next year that will include museum stuff. So,
does the zoo do anything in particular for New Year's? Not specifically as an event, probably. I hope you do get a day off once in a while.
Yeah. Well, our education department does winter camps.
Oh, I did not know. Well, tell us a little bit about that.
So between Christmas and New Year's, they'll do winter camps, and you can go online again at rollinghillzoo.org, click on education, and it'll tell you when and where, when those dates and what times those camps are. And they do lots of fun stuff with winter camps. They have activities inside, outside, weather dependent. Kids get to do crafts, and they get snacks and all the stuff fun stuff while you get to stay home and
Yeah.
relax for a minute, recover from Christmas.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
So we've learned about winter camps today. We've learned more about the availability of the conference center to any number of us in the community who want to plan events. Remember that a timeline projected is important for you all to be able to help someone who wants to have a family reunion or a team building exercise. And
honestly, if you come out with a date or even a approximate date, we can go from there and build you a great, memorable event. I promise it will be wonderful. Lots and lots and lots of fun. And the venue is so pretty.
oh,
The room is just gorgeous.
well, that whole area is so inviting, and it sort of invites communication, you know?
Sure.
People come out and they're not quite sure, and even if it's a business or if it's a family reunion or if it's a special children's event. Are there any other issues or ideas or components that you want to mention to us
Well,
today?
I will tell you that weddings, we have done more weddings in the past year than I don't know if they've ever have. And we not only do the receptions, but we do the weddings as well.
Oh my.
We can. I mean, we don't require you to
Well,
actually
right,
have the
right,
ceremony
right.
there, but we do a lot of ceremonies too. We've done a lot of weddings and wonderful pictures throughout the zoo. As a bride and groom, you can go out before the ceremony, after the ceremony, with your bridal party, out through the zoo, take pictures near the enclosures. There's some of these photographers have gotten just amazing photos
Oh, that's
of
wonderful.
out in the zoo with the wildlife. So, yeah, lots of fun. Not a better place to have your wedding than the zoo.
You know,
I'll just go out there and say it.
I can certainly understand why you have said it, and I want all of us who watch this program to understand what an important resource this is for all of us in so many ways, and it gets maybe some creative thinking started.
Well, and at the end of the day, it's all to support the mission of Rolling Hills Zoo and conservation and wildlife.
Right.
That's what we're really there for, and all of this is just an avenue to support that.
And so here in the middle of the country, we have that corner where we really are saying we care about animal life and preservation.
Yeah.
And in doing so, we can have a really good time
We can have a really good time. That's exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Tracy, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you,
today.
Ann.
You will come back.
Of course. Thank you for having me.